folks, very warm welcome to another video. I hope this one does find you in the very best of spirits, and not drowning in the very best of spirits, because that's not healthy, folks. Enjoy, but don't overdo it, folks. And if you're not feeling particularly positive as you start this watching experience, and I hope by the end of the watching experience you feel better. I hope that this video provides a little bit of a boost in mood to your day. Hey, how's that for a positive start to the video? That's kind of why I make videos, folks. I do it selfishly to escape from myself and entertain myself. I always enjoy myself. I hope that some of you do as well. What have I got today? Well, Kingy and I are on board the RV-14, an aircraft that I've probably only featured in one, maybe two videos, and I can't even remember which videos they would be. I say that because, well, one, my memory's bad, but two, I haven't flown this bird very much. I actually didn't really take to it when it was released. This is a SimWorks Studios production, the RV-14A model, this one here, resplendent in the red and the black, and the tan stripes. November 714 Whiskey Hotel. Yeah, didn't really take to it when it was first released. It's been updated recently, and I thought that's a good reason to kind of bring it out of the hangar. So yeah, this is a Hangar Queens episode, I'm guessing. We'll have a look at what the update has brought to the aircraft. I'm not exactly all over it, folks. We'll find out together during the course of the video. But yeah, and I thought I'd do an FS economy run in a different part of the world than what I normally fly, which I'll talk about in a minute in the flight planning segment. So yeah, the van's RV-14A, longest sort of flight. It'd probably take us best part of an hour, actually, in actual real time. Video, of course, of that sort of 20 to 30 minute duration for you. You're welcome. But yeah, let's have a look at the flight plan and situate ourselves. Alright, little nav map. We are in Europe today, and specifically the country of España, Spain, northern Spain. Really northern Spain. And we're going to begin our journey in a little place that, well, quite frankly, I've never heard of before, called Rosas. Yeah, it's sort of down the road from a place that I have heard of, and many of you will have heard of, Santiago de Compostela. Very well-known church there, isn't there? It's kind of like it's a bit of a pilgrimage destination, isn't it? Santiago de Compostela, the Camino Trail, or should I say trails, plural, end there. Beautiful old cathedral, a lot of history there. The Camino Trail, one of those sort of pilgrimages that it's becoming popular again. I was reading that something like 200,000 or 300,000 people or something a year are doing the Camino again. If you have done the Camino, any of the Camino trails, there are quite a few. We're kind of replicating one, the northern one, kind of, in our coastal flight today towards Bilbao. But if you've done the Camino at any time in your life, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. It's on my, well, is it on my bucket list? Do I still have a bucket list at this point? I'm not sure. I guess I do. One of those things that I've thought of doing over the years, but never got to it. And, well, on current indications, I probably won't. But if you've done it, I'd love to hear from you. Today's journey will take us from the Rosas, basically coastal. Coastal overhead, a whole bunch of towns that I probably will mispronounce, like Gijon. I'm sounding a bit French, not Spanish. Santa Mera, Ribadicela, starting to sound a little bit Spanish now. La Galguera,
Oh, this is a beauty. What's this? Ruinas de la Iglesia de Santa Maria de Tina. That's some sort of ruins. Alright, Santa Maria. And then Los Laos. And then off the coast for a little bit. Cuchilla. What's that? Santander VOR. Santander VOR. Before we make our sort of final part of the journey towards the city of Bilbao. That is our flight plan today, folks. All 206 nautical miles of it. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's going to take us a little nav map. I'm using the wrong aircraft profile. I don't have one for the RV-14, but yeah, probably an hour and a half worth of flying time. We're going to do it low level, 3.5 VFR. According to the vertical sort of display down the bottom here, we've got clearance, except for this bit here, en route sort of just before Masip. We've got an issue, but we'll make this happen, folks. FS economy run, we're taking a passenger from Rosas to Bilbao, and yeah, that is the plan. I'll get us started and on our way. Right, so engine start has been achieved, but we've lost Kingy. How does that happen? Let's just suspend our disbelief here for a minute, folks. Or for several minutes, like 20, the whole video, in other words. And let's say that Kingy's just ducked under the panel for a snooze. Eh? I don't know where he's gone. Where are you, Kingy? He was there, and now he's not. I'm imagining him there, folks. Yes. Oh, I don't have to imagine. There he is. You can see him, his outline. Squint hard. Use thy imagination. It does help on this channel, I find. Alright, let's we've got parking brake released. Try and get this sound sorted out, suitable for both you and I. I need it very loud because my hearing is well, it's shot. Absolutely shot. Oh, that's a little bit too much juices. We've got to find out. We've got quite a long taxi here. This is a stock airport here, folks. There'll be no link to it in the description, and there'll be no link to the our destination either. Just going to be running with stock. The RV-14. Long time since I've been in this thing. We've got a bumpy taxiway here. Bloody hell. Old Spanish maintenance, say. Very relaxed, you might say. Quite relaxed people, the Spanish, at least that's been my experience. Shout out to any of you who happen to hail from this part of the world as well. And yeah, really would like to hear if anyone's done the Camino during their life, what the experience was like. Here we go. Light breeze, 4 knots. Yeah, we'll take off into it though. That will help. So this aircraft in FS economy actually lives or is based at Bilbao and needs to return home. So if you happen to be watching this and you're the owner of this aircraft, you're welcome. Taking it home for you. Runway is going to look like 22 for us. Will be the go, hey? But we've got a long taxi. It's alright, gives me an opportunity to make up some nonsense and get reacquainted with this bird. Had originally intended to make a different video, actually, featuring another SimWorks Studios aircraft, being the PC-12. Something is wrong with the most recent update to that one. Yeah, it's back in the hangar. In fact, it's been uninstalled again from my machine. It's an aircraft, the PC-12. I wish I liked it more than I do, but there's just something about it, and that update, I'm not sure if it's something on my rig or something's gone wrong in the installation process, but it's always been a bit of a funky bird to fly. It's even funkier now with added funk, and I don't need added funk in my flight simulation experience today. Don't have a lot of time to fly, so I need a low funk aircraft, and I'm hoping that the RV-14 is that. We'll soon find out, hey. A little bit of cloud around this fine afternoon in this part of Spain. Looks like nice light breeze though. 3.5, nice little VFR altitude as we head across. Oh geez, that cloud build-up's pretty big actually. Thankfully we're going to be turning away from it. Although I'll just take an external. First look at the actual weather here. It should be alright. Just running with a different preset on the NVIDIA filters as well. It's probably a little bit too sharp in some respects, unlike my flying skill. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm going to run with it. I think we're pretty much right to go, Kingy. Bring that heading bug sort of around to 2-2 direction, just sort of somewhere like that. Yeah, so we'll make a nice early left-hand turn on towards track, towards Massip. We'll go altitude reporting there. Probably should have gone landing lights. You may hear some background sounds, folks, as you do in most videos, bird sounds. One of you guessed, well, I don't think it was a guess, it was more of a definite statement that you made, that we have cockatiels. The bird species are cockatiels, and you would be correct. Cockatiels are part of the flock, the flying dad flock. There are more birds than cockatiels, or other birds I should say, but yes, there are a couple of cockatiels that you hear, so well done sir for you. So, landing lights on, not going to worry about flap. Local barrow, yep, 2975. We're good. We do this thing. Let's do it. Might get a little bit loud here, folks. Let's see how we go. Strobies can come on. Here we go. Full juicy here in the RV-14. Oh, there we go. Bit of right boot, mate. There we go. Keep it straight. Airspeed's alive. Geez, doesn't take long, does it? A lot of right boot required here. We can kind of rotate pretty early, can't we? There we go. No flaps to worry about, no gear to worry about. Oh, she's pitchy. Safely away. Turn around towards our first waypoint of Massip. She's very sensitive in pitch, is what I can say. I've been out of this aircraft for a very long time, so maybe it was always like that. Come back on the juicies a tad, eh? Just take an external. There we go. Rosas, or the area around the Rosas. Just get us kind of aligned, or heading towards Massip anyway. 3.5's going to come up pretty quickly, and we're going to be in cloud. Oh, what's a bit of unintended instrument flight between friends, eh? One of the many services that I offer on this channel. We'll kind of we go autopilot. Now it should kind of maintain 3.5 for us. It does, and it's leveled us out, which is nice. Now our heading bug, we'll kind of bring that around. Now we're into the yellow. That's all right at the moment. Kind of fly at about 24 square. What do you reckon? Can we do that? Lean it a tad. That's about 24 square. We're doing 160. I'll go into heading hold, which is this one. We'll intercept that track before too long. Zoom out here. We've got a nice tailwind. Handy. There we go. Sorry if that's a little bit loud, folks. For you, it isn't too loud for me. It's difficult to get it right. Doesn't that terrain look beautiful? It's really rendering it very, very nice detail for the old man's eyes. Safely away, folks, from the Rosas in the RV-14 en route to Bilbao. I'll see you at various points en route.
All right, so we're doing well in terms of our ground speed, 164. We've backed off to 23 squared, 77% power. We're in the grey stuff, and we're kind of dodging both terrain and these bloody pesky big propellers that people stick into the ground in windy areas of the world. We've got a bloody wind farm happening here, so we're dodging all of that. I think we're going to get over the terrain ahead of us. We do have an option out towards the north if we need to sort of go up here and get around it, but I'm going to barrel forward and hope that we clear this hill in front of us. The synthetic terrain might come in handy. Just ignore the low fuel right enunciation. After all, I'm going to ignore it. We are going to be pretty low on fuel by the time we get to our destination, but I have checked with the GTN and we should have enough fuel planning, right? We should have all of 4 gallons in the tank at Bilbao. So we're going to be on fumes by the time we get there. But yeah, we're doing well. We've got a nice breeze up to date, which is handy. And weather's clearing. Weather has been a little bit ordinary in the early stages of this flight. There was a fair bit of red and orange around. As we just zoom back in, as we kind of continue our journey, it should clear up a little bit. So we're through the worst of it. We're in a little bit of trouble here for terrain. Are we gonna brave it? We are. It's not a question. We're gonna brave it, and you'll stick with me, folks. And if this goes horribly wrong, you're going to see it go horribly wrong. We're going to experience a potential CFIT here. CFIT inbound. There's not going to be much in it at all. We like to live dangerously. Jeez, well, I reckon we're gonna take the top off these trees at best. Hey, at best. We're straight into it, aren't we? We are living dangerously, so autopilot off, and we're going to have to climb. Oh, there we go. No worries, gives me an opportunity to actually do some flying. Oh, there's just these bloody wind turbines everywhere in this part of the world. You guys are going crazy with the turbines. Was it Trump or one of those other oxygen thieves said something about the effect of wind turbines on whales or something, or some stupid, I mean, it's just one of the many stupid things that someone like him would say, but yeah. We don't have that many of them in Australia. There's a few down south though. Now we've got to get back on track. We should be over the worst of it in terms of terrain, the riskiest part. So what we'll do is get autopilot back on. So Georgie should climb us to 3.5, which he has, and then intercept the magenta around about now. So slight right turn, Georgie, be good. There we go, you're back on track. There you go. Can't blame Georgie for almost putting us into the dirt. That's all on old mate here. Beautiful part of the world. Nice place to walk, some might say. Anyway, folks, I'll in the next segment, which will be along the coast, and well and truly away from risk of hitting the ground, we'll have a look at what the most recent update to this aircraft has brought. And that, folks, is the city of Gijon. Gijon. We're making good time. We are in a little bit of trouble, fuel-wise. A little bit of trouble is an understatement. I fully expect to experience a fuel starvation issue during this flight. I don't think we're going to make it to our destination. It's going to be a glide approach, which is a polite way of saying the old man really screwed up on his fuel planning, and yeah, it's going to be a forced landing. So there you go, folks. Just one of the many services that I'm offering in this video. Hey, the weather hasn't been good for us, but still enjoying it. It's a nice representation of the weather. Plenty of moisture around. Look how those buildings are represented. Lots of red. Lots of red. Shall we have a look at the changelog? Let's do that. Okay, so on the screen is the RV-14/14A version history on the SimWorks Studios website. They were kind enough to actually post the changelog for this one, unlike for their recent update to the PC-12. How hard is it, developers, to post changelogs for updates to the aircraft? Would be handy for the PC-12. Maybe they don't want you to know what they've updated. I don't know. Anyway, this is the RV-14. What have we got? We've got some updates to the visuals. Now, that's not going to be something that I notice. It's just been so long since I've been out in this aeroplane. But it's good that they've updated it. I'll give them credit for that. Systems-wise, improvements. Added 2 colours of aerobatic smoke. Righto. I didn't know this one had aerobatic smoke. Okay. Added new tablet logic. Now this, I can't work this out. They have a tablet, but it doesn't work. So what is the... I don't understand that. Made it so pilots will be visible in multiplayer. Right. Registration will auto-hide. Okay. And they've done some stuff around the GTN integration. So they modified the GTN integration and removed the bundled PMS. Right, so I'm running with the native... What does that mean? Bundled? I don't know, folks. I don't know. The tablet logic. In the next segment, let's explore what the actual tablet in this thing looks like. But before we do that, I mentioned the fuel situation a couple of times. We're in real trouble here. So, this range would be range with reserve, I'm guessing. 26 minutes. The fuel planning, we're screwed. We're absolutely screwed. Our efficiency is fantastic. We just haven't carried enough juice. We've got 11.4 gallons on board. We need 12.5 to get to Bilbao. You don't have to have studied mathematics at university to understand that there's an issue. We're going to fly this as far as we can. Fly it as far as you can into the crash. It's going to be a forced landing. That's how this video is going to end, folks. We're not going to get to our destination. In fact, we're going to be a fair bit short. We're going to land somewhere along the coast of northern Spain. We I was going to say we should probably swap tanks, but we've got a problem, an even bigger problem on the right. Yeah, we're screwed. Sometimes in life, folks, you've just got to admit that you don't know what you're doing. And that happens on every video on this channel. Now, this tablet thing. There is a tablet. If you push that, you get this tablet thing, but there's nothing on it. Like, how do you turn the tablet on? I'm pushing. How do you get rid of it? Oh, that twists it. That's nice. But how do you actually turn it on? So added tablet logic. There's no tablet. Well, there's a tablet, but it's blank. So I'm kind of... There's a tablet coming? Is that... Perhaps that's what's happening? Anyway, it's an aircraft that isn't finished. It's a bit like the PC-12. Feels like it isn't finished either. Anyway, just an observation there, folks, for what it's worth. The RV-14A, SimWorks Studios. I think I'll next see you for the concluding stages, which essentially will be a controlled crash. How many flight sim videos will you watch today, folks, where the person making the video is disappointed that it didn't end in disaster? Well, you're watching one right now. We're going to make it. We're going to make it to Bilbao. We're going to be on fumes, admittedly, but we're going to make it. I think I've misinterpreted the fuel planning stuff here on the GTN. We're going to make it. So we're about 16 miles from touchdown in Bilbao. It's getting a little bit choppy here. The wind is shifting around, more of a stronger southerly now, sort of between about 5 and 15 knots. So it's coming over the hills out here, and kind of throwing us around a little bit. But we're going to make it. I thought we would have to ditch, well, not ditch in the water. I wasn't going to put it in the water, but I thought we'd have a forced landing before now. This video will be ending before now, but no, we're going to make it. You can see that the jump down here. The fuel's well and truly in the red. I am balancing the tanks as best I can, and a little bit of headwind hasn't helped us. But even with all of that, headwind shifting around, you can see it at the moment. Wind sort of shifting between a southeasterly and a sort of southwesterly. We're going to get there. The engine will be running, the prop will be turning for our arrival into Bilbao. So I'll see you for that in a couple of minutes. Alright, concluding stages, folks. Just turning final onto whatever runway this is. Heading towards the east here in Bilbao. We're quite high. The birds are starting to warm up, even though we're pretty much assured of making it. There's still a little bit of doubt. There we go. That high-pitched squeal. That's who needs a master warning in the aircraft when you have an aviary full of birds sitting behind you? Anyway, I'll tell you what, the Sphincter rating on this flight's been rather elevated. Those of you that think, or rate the videos in terms of the old Sphincter rating, yeah, it's been up there. It's been really enjoyable. It's been a lovely trip, actually, when I haven't been sort of considering my impending virtual death and looking at the fuel gauge. It's been an enjoyable trip in a part of the world that I don't get to fly in very often. Down to 120 knots. We'll take first stage of flap at this point. Not sure what the flap extension limits are. Don't matter here, folks. Looks like we're on a runway 009 here, Bilbao, Spain. 115 knots. Got to get us down a little bit slower than that, pal, into the white. Fully idle now. We're on the fullest tank, which isn't saying much. 2 whites, 2 reds. Lovely. A runway 10 here at Bilbao. Having trouble getting slowed down though. We're in the wide arc. Call that wide arc and go full flap at this point. That'll get the speed bleeding off for us. Yeah, absolutely. Down she comes. Short final runway 10, folks. Fingers across, sphincter's tight. Our gear is down and our flaps are set. Light headwind. Oh, don't float it too much, fella. Oh, she wants to float. Oh, jeez. Very sensitive in pitch, this thing. There we go, folks. We got it down eventually. Almost disappointingly that we made a runway. Anyway, that's been a Hangar Queens episode, folks, looking at latest update to the RV-14A by SimWorks Studios. Thank you very much for your company in another flight. Until we next meet, you stay well, enjoy your simming, and bye for now.